Okay, so it's Bad Influence Christmas Special. Now this aired on December the 17th, 1992. And I think this is the episode I seem to remember most out of all the Bad Influence shows. It just sticks in my mind. It must have been like the excitement of Christmas. I think this was the year I got a Mega Drive.
Hi and welcome to Bad Influence. This week, Take That will be trying out the very latest arcade racing game.
Our main review is the long-awaited Super Mario Kart.
It didn't stick out because Take That were on it. Trust me.
And I'll be giving you the ABC Guide to Tokyo. That's A for arcades, B for battle simulators, and C for CDs.
All this plus an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the ultimate rock and roll game, Rock Drummer 2. ST owners have been on the prowl again. We've had a lot of letters on the subject of software. Like this one from Graham Hoare, who writes from Tyne and Weir. More and more software houses, he complains, refuse to program for the ST and they concentrate on the Amiga and the PC. Why? Well, this might be one of the...
I hadn't even got my own ST at this point, so how do you think I felt?
Waiting for this. Brand new, hot off the presses, to be with us in the Bad Influence studio this week. Atari say this is not an upgraded ST.
Ah, the Atari Falcon. What a piece of engineering.
So new about it. Well, inside it's got something called a D.
I really liked the look of the Falcon, even though it was basically the same as the ST.
Do, amongst other things, is record better than CD quality sound.
It's a shame it only lasted a year.
To the hard disk. You can do it from video, you can do it from the CD, or if you've got a microphone like this, you can do it from the microphone. So I shall just record something in. Now, my voice doesn't really warrant better than CD quality sound, however, I shall...
Don't put yourself down, Andy.
Merry Christmas! That was awful, I'm sure you'll agree, but we'll just play that.
Alright, yeah, put yourself down.
Second. Merry Christmas! Now, how can we improve that? Well, it can do effects, you can harmonise it.
I used to find this stuff fascinating, just recording voice into a computer and changing it. I still do. It's probably half the reason I do what I do.
And it can offer you kind effects, which means no, or a harmoniser here. Now, that should improve my singing. Harmoniser, options, and
there's something about the Gem desktop as well. I don't know, I love it. It's just so crap, but amazing.
Okay on that, okay on that. Play it back, and see if that improves.
I mean, at the time, it was alright, it was pretty good. It's only because...
Yeah, well, possibly not.
Yeah, probably not. It's only because the Amiga's workbench blew it out of the water.
There, I want to show you some pictures.
And it didn't advance very far.
With a paint package and a bit of artistic talent, you can knock up some rather nice pictures. I'm sure you'll agree. There's an old friend of ours, Pac-Man. Now, you can run these in sequence, you can run them really fast.
Wow, that's useful.
Run them slower. And if you're going to take graphics and run them in sequence, that makes you think of animation.
Yes, it does.
If you put animation with a CD quality sound I've just shown you, then the fun really starts. Imagine being able to play games with graphics like this and with CD sound. Well, if you're a Falcon owner, Atari reckon you will be able to by the middle of 1993.
Yeah, probably.
At least 109 software houses in Europe alone working on software.
209 software houses. How many of those made software for the Falcon? Maybe 4? It's a shame, really.
Will your ST software run on it? Should
the Falcon, I really like the Falcon.
This week is Super Mario Kart on the SNES. It's a racing game the world's been waiting for, or so Nintendo.
Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo.
Here, including Yoshi, Toad, Donkey Kong.
Wow, Christmas 1992.
Here's Lakesh.
Super Mario Kart is excellent. It's the kind of game you can just get into straight away. There's nothing serious about it. Everybody should enjoy it.
Spot on, Lakesh.
Different weapons to collect. Shells will make your opponent spin out, and feathers, mushrooms and stars give you superpowers.
I do love the original Mario Kart. It's probably my favourite.
Can't go faster and give you
even now.
If you get into trouble, a guy with a fishing rod will help you out.
2-player battles are really good too.
Played as a single-player game, the Super Mario Kart is brilliant, but played as a 2-player, enjoyment is endless, especially in the battle mode.
There we go.
The aim is to kill your opponent.
I mean, stuff like that was quite new back then.
This game, the best reason since Street Fighter to buy Super Nintendo.
This is fantastic. I love it. It's my favourite game ever.
Good. My favourite game ever.
I'm a bit disappointed in this game. It uses Super NES's capability as well. I was expecting a bit more though.
What were you expecting? What do you mean you were expecting a bit more? It uses the Super Nintendo capabilities well, but you were expecting a bit more?
The maximum, 5 out of 5.
God, some people just can't please them.
Christmas tinsel is very pretty. Christmas tinsel is in my...
I used to have a tree like that.
I love Christmas, and I've got a very special Christmas treat for all you tinsely techies. It's for my favourite game of all time, Rock Drummer 2.
I love Nam's dress code. It's like a shit snooker player.
On all formats, including consoles. Now, as you know, it's probably the ultimate rock and roll game.
It's like a snooker player from a dystopian future.
Graphic beat-em-ups ever made. But you can get even more rock and roll excitement from it by typing in Keith on the title screen. Not only will you jump...
That was quite impressive, Nam. I imagine you've probably got another Amiga 600 round the back, hooked up to that.
Samples of Frisky Pete's drums by pressing different keys. So, that was...
It was an Amiga 600, wasn't it?
Military band. Ready? Get ready. Oh, missed it.
Yeah, it must be.
Yes. I like that.
Looks quite advanced for an Amiga 600, though.
Whoa, pump rocket.
Wembley 92.
Akihabara in Tokyo is better known as Electronic City, a maze of hundreds of shops and...
I bet Violet was in her element here. I mean, I don't blame her.
The computer and console market has slowed down a bit.
Never been to Japan.
But there's still a
Love to go.
mind-blowing range of games, hardware and peripherals, many of which we'll never see in Britain.
Although I'd especially like to go in the 90s. It's a bit difficult to do that now. I might have missed the boat.
I've only got one thing to say about Akihabara, and that's... wow!
You see that Japanese businessman in the background? He was like, what the hell is going on here? Apparently, I read in the Bad Influence magazine that she was really frowned upon for wearing the clothes she's wearing on this trip.
Area for their latest developments like
Because Japan was very conservative with its dress style, and she was wearing things which are a bit out there. And I think they tried to get her to change her outfit before she met the Sega boss, but she refused, which is good.
He was with the head of the Sonic 2 project team. I'm not allowed to mention his name, security is very tight here, but he spent hours showing me the rough maps of the different zones, which was very interesting. No, really, very, very interesting. Still, I did get to ask him the question on everyone's mind. So, are you working on Sonic 3 now?
That's a secret.
Well, that was certainly worth a 12-hour flight.
I think it probably was. That is very interesting. That would... Oh, look at that. Night Trap.
February. This is Night Trap, a sort of game and interactive movie all rolled into one.
Night Trap was made by Sega of America, wasn't it?
Of a detective who's hacked into the security system of a house under investigation. You can see what's happening.
You could easily imagine it being a Japanese game. It does kind of fit with the genre.
There's lots going on. Innocent victims, mysterious intruders, and a feeling that there's something not quite right.
I mean, apart from the terrible acting, that game really triggered my imagination when I saw it. It was like, wow, it's like you could be like in a real life situation. It was
the very latest boxing game.
Impressive. I don't think Violet was playing that.
I haven't got anyone to play with. They're all too busy improving it. As well as the traditional arcade machines, Sega are looking at a new generation of arcade simulators. A high-quality video...
I miss arcade cabinets, like full arcade cabinets, like the Afterburner cabinet.
Synchronization with the path of your vehicle. The ride is called Megalopolis Tokyo City Battle. You are riding the latest generation...
I'd love it if arcades in the UK had stuff like this. Full simulator machines, that would be amazing.
Neon Tokyo in the year 2054. It'll be next year before the Japanese public get a chance to try out Megalopolis.
We're stuck with
see what they've got in the arcade.
5p a go fruit machines.
This is the newest amusement centre in Tokyo.
Noel Edmonds and his boxes.
Lots of change.
I always find that machine wherever I go. There's Edmonds gleaming away from the corner of a pub.
And I'm going to play them all.
Come and play with my boxes. I love all these Japanese businessmen just playing on the machines. It's glorious. Look at that. Got an hour lunch break. Let's go. Look at that cabinet. That's amazing.
Out of money, out of time, but I'll be back. Sayonara.
Sayonara, Violet. That virtual racing machine has just arrived in Britain, but you can only see it in two places. Either in Hamleys, in the West End of London, or the Bad Influence studio, where...
I remember playing this machine in June's Arcades in Cromer.
£8,000, but it really is.
When I was younger.
Equipment. The steering wheel judders violently if you ever crash into something.
It was when arcade machines really jumped up in the price per play, but it was
At the moment,
a pretty good experience.
wheel, a la racing driver, but if I push this button, I can zoom hundreds of feet above the action and look down on it. Now we were sitting.
That is impressive. This is when things started to change.
A lifestyle that would be best suited to test this machine. Fast cars, jet set, show bit. Well, we couldn't think of anybody else, but we thought, oh, well, take that, they'll do. Hello, boys. Have a seat. Welcome to Bad Influence. You play games a lot?
Yeah, I play Game Boy most of all.
Don't, do you? You clearly don't.
What about you, Jace? Do you like platform games or simulators or what?
I'm very basic, Andy, you know, a bit of football here and there.
Tell you what though, Andy, they're not very good at them, you know what I mean? I'm the best one out of them.
You're the man, are you?
I'm the man.
Well, I think Bad Influence ought to take That in a small race.
Fair enough.
Select your viewpoint.
Here we go.
And eat rubber, Johnny Popstar!
Okay, Frederick.
Robbie Williams, you smug.
Into a horrendous spin.
Get yourself together, mate.
I'm alright, mate. Hang on, I'm there.
Come on, Andy.
We're both doing about 200 mile an hour, I think.
Oh, but
Stay cool.
See, I think Andy is actually really quite shit at games.
I lost my racing line.
He came from the broom cupboard as a presenter. He is first, though.
Introduce the next link, Eric, because these two are wrapped up in this game. Yeah.
Oh!
Robbie Williams obviously talking shit.
Could it be magic? Merry Christmas, everybody. Nice Christmas.
It's tragic, but this song reminds me of Christmas.
Take That's latest single, yes.
Oh, Nam, you have gone down in my estimations if that's on your list.
Perhaps not. One of those racing machines, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheer, festive flirtlers. I'll finish my list for Santa later. Now, this is a cheat for Jaguar XJ2.
He's loving the Amiga 600 at the moment, isn't he?
Lap record holder every time. Simply do this cunning manoeuvre during the intro.
Do this cunning manoeuvre.
CD and tune in the frequency to 065.4. Now, not only will your car be souped up, but it'll be super fast. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll just finish off my list.
What's that music in the background, isn't that?
Rock Drummer 2 for the SNES, that's definite. And a head jogging.
What is that music? I can't place it. I know what it is. Do. It's 80. It's the A-Team, isn't it?
I wonder what he's getting us. Now for this week's news and previews.
Unless I just heard that in my head.
Stocking fillers for Christmas. For Amiga, there's a budget range of classic games available. Things like Zack.
Oh, I've got some of those.
Wars and Panzer Kickboxing.
The Kicks titles.
Between £10 and £13.
For Sonic and Mario fans, there's a great line in T-shirts for about £10 to £14, although they do all tend to be
God, they're massive.
What about a games tips video? One for Amiga or one for...
Oh, the tips videos, I remember them.
Or, if you don't want to watch...
Imagine that, you get your game tips from a VHS.
Tips book at $9.99, or this one, the one Miss Berlin's got her eye on, the Super NES Games Secrets, including Street Fighter 2, that's only...
Well before the internet.
There's also a great range of peripherals like these character joysticks.
Oh, they are the worst joysticks ever to use.
Ballistic joypad, or this touch-sensitive turbo touch...
And that thing. I always wanted one, but they're not great.
Those around this year. This is their Handy Boy for use with the Game Boy, or you can get carried.
Touchpad and things never are. I don't know what Steam were doing with their controllers.
So you can check for it from...
Although apparently it's alright because it gives you feedback from vibration, which is better than
SNES next year. In the Magical Quest, Mickey has
touching something like a damn fish.
And repeat. The quest takes Mickey through a treacherous world with only a magical turban for help.
A magical turban? What the?
The Game Boy's got its very own Game Genie. You just slot it in, put in a cart, and then you can
The size of that thing is massive.
change your gameplay in a variety of ways. Like this game, I've got infinite lives, I stay as large Mario, and I can run through all the objects. And to keep your codes in...
Great. You can turn it into just a running simulator.
Christmas sees the release of the American blockbuster movie Home Alone 2, featuring the angel-faced Macaulay Culkin once more as the ever-resourced
Home Alone 2.
who this time gets lost in New York, and again...
Not a patch on the first movie.
Wet bandit gangs.
And that would definitely kill those two.
There's a game out on the back of it. This is
And the game, oh god, the game was dire, wasn't it?
SNES version won't be ready.
But I still wanted it. I wanted it really badly.
Dracula the Undead on the Lynx is a role-playing game
This
set in a spooky
always looked good. This made me want to get a Lynx.
You play
This,
Jonathan Harker, a young English solicitor, and you need to find a way to escape before the Count has
I
been...
just find the graphics very compelling.
This is one of the nicest handheld games I've seen for a while. It's a bit difficult because the controls are very tricky. You press B to select the icon mode. You press up and down to select which one you want to do. Example,
I do love the Lynx.
Use. Here I'm using use. Then you press right.
I love how it caters for left and right hand users, and this, the graphics were good.
Which you're going to use.
The screen wasn't great, it was still blurry, but this was the technology of the time.
Here come the 3 brides of Dracula. They're coming to eat me, but Dracula's told them not to because he wants to eat me. The graphics and perspective are really good. It makes it look like it's a movie set. The music and sound effects had real depth.
Take him. We insist you go first.
I'd give this game full marks, but you have to enjoy these kind of games to like this one.
Look, he's got a Joe Blogs t-shirt on.
This takes a bit of getting used to, because the icons are so fiddly. But for a puzzle game, it's...
All these 90s brands which have just disappeared.
Of games, but I must admit it looks impressive for a handheld.
And
damn right it does, it's for Lynx.
Undead. The boys gave it an average 3 out of 5, but the girls liked it better and awarded it 4 out of 5.
It's a game I've yet to play still, actually.
John Madden 93 for the Mega Drive features the latest lineup of Madden's all-American superstars. You can play against the computer or with a friend. Here's Sarah and John heading for the playoffs.
If you're an American football fan, then the Madden games is definitely for you. I don't think this is as good as the other two, though.
This is great. It looks complicated to start with, but it's not that hard to get into. It's really playable.
The main problem for
American football.
Formation, they're playing it. It's too long gap.
Never really got into that. Too much stopping and starting for my liking.
I've never played American football before, but
I prefer smooth flowing games.
I played it for quite a bit. I still wouldn't buy it.
I actually preferred the last game, John Madden 92. I still give this one 4 stars out of 5 though. It looks good and it plays well.
I like this game, I like the sound effects, and I love the way you can tackle. It's a bit confusing if you don't understand American
She's taking the leaf out of Nam's dress code, hasn't she, with her waistcoat?
Basically, this is the same as the original.
He's dressed a bit like a Batman Joker accomplice.
Madden 93. The boys gave it a good score.
It was for the 90s though, that's how we rolled in the 90s. Like absolute freaks.
Christmas pud, yum,
Who cares?
yum yum. Christmas pud is in my tum.
Good one, Nam.
Important Christmas tip. Remember to fill up with plenty of chocolate hedgehogs on Christmas Day so that you'll be full by lunchtime and you won't have to touch any of that scrotty turkey and Brussels sprouts. Now, this is a level skipping cheat for Golden Axe.
Oh, what a game! I need to cover this at some point. I poured so many hours into Golden Axe 2.
B, C and press start. Then move down to options and tap B and C like that. Then you move down.
In fact, I love the entire Golden Axe series.
And press B.
It's a shame we never got 3 over here.
2, 3, 4. Your level numbers will now appear in the centre of the screen, and you can choose whichever level you like. Press.
It's one of the games which really got, like Golden Axe and Gauntlet. They really got me into that kind of world, that kind of demons fantasy world, and got me into that area of gaming massively.
Do you want to read the data blast? Set your video recorder.
Thanks, Violet.
We were giving away 3 of these last week as competition prizes. Lynx handheld.
Lynx 2.
The Batman returns. The competition question was simple. What's the American TV transmission system called?
The answer's NTSC, and the names of the lucky winners...
M. Johnson, Gemma Tordoff,
Congratulations to all
Phil
of you.
Carter.
This competition prize is brilliant. We have 10 copies of the Take That Video, Take That...
That is not a brilliant prize. If you have to say this prize is brilliant, but you know it's shit.
We'd like to know, please, on a postcard...
10 copies of a Take That video. I bet no one entered this week's competition.
Together to form Take That. 2 bands got together to form Take That. What were the name of the bands? Postcards...
Or someone won them all.
Bad Influence address by New Year's Eve, please.
I'm afraid we didn't have time for the Rock Drummer 2 item, so we'll be holding...
Yeah, how does that work? I thought it was...
...first show of the new year, that's the 7th of
I thought it's not a live show.
Meantime, have a very Merry Christmas.
How did they not have time for it? Oh, and it's over. That's an abrupt ending to this week's Bad Influence episode. Anyway, that was the Christmas special. What a special it was. I hope you have an amazing Christmas, and if I don't hear you or see you, or you don't hear from me beforehand, have a good one. See you soon, guys.